All right, got another game here for you. River versus Meek. Where is this coming out? Group C. Big shout out to Meek this season, by the way. They are doing a great job covering a ton of matches as well as making guides and stuff on YouTube. So if you haven't checked Meek out, definitely do so. They're making a lot of content this season. Sasha is also streaming as well as QQ so far. So definitely check out. If you're hungry for more Tooth and Tail matches, there are a few other channels you can go, and get some more content from. So let's see River versus Meek, game number 1. All right, up top we've got Meek, and in the bottom right, River. Look at this deck out of Meek. I'm so excited. Squirrel, Skunk, Owl, Wolf, Fox, Liar. So Meek is one of the old school greats, I would say. They took a break from the game and the scene for a little while. But back in the... I believe Meek is a championship winner. I would have to check my notes. But I believe they have won several years ago. Am I wrong about that? Now I'm looking. Yeah, Premier Division 2021. Meek won first place. Second place, Melvin Fro. Third place, The Gentleman. So, see? I have a memory, and it works sometimes. So, yeah, that was the 4th championship season Meek won. I remember one of my favorite games of Tooth and Tail was actually against Meek, and it was a scrappy tournament match, and we were just going back and forth the whole time, like every unit mattered kind of situation, and Meek just like barely beats me, and I'm so confused. It was one of those games that you watch and you're just so confused why you lost, and then I look and Meek had like a campfire in the corner of the map or something, and that like little bit of extra income gave them the edge over me. So that was a fun one. Alright, so in this game so far, 8 farm double from River. I've never heard of River before, so I'm curious what they're going to come out with. I like the deck. Squizzard backed up by Snake to try to counter some of the tier 3, as well as a Boar for a good push. So let's see what River decides to do. Looking for that second base. Nice pocket base here from both sides. And then a little bit of a third base in the 3 o'clock or the 9 o'clock spot as well. So pretty even map. I kind of like River's position a little bit better. It seems like it's very clear Meek has to attack through this path, right? Once you get these 2 bases established, you should have a lot of structures to help kind of soak up damage on attacks. This bottom base is pretty much free without Meek having any unit like a Lizard. But look at this, 8 farm Wolf coming out of Meek. This is some old school 2018 style builds. The one base tier 3 you don't see as often. But with some barbed wire and with a large enough map, sometimes like there is literally nothing you can do about it. And this was a fun thing for kind of the original competitive Tooth and Tail scene to figure out, where one of the best moves to do if you saw an opponent, you know, putting down a tier 3 is just put down your own tier 3. If you try to attack into it, you'd be surprised sometimes, like missing 180 food with the army, like the defender's advantage. You have some wire, some high ground. I mean, that's perfectly fine. Like Meek would be able to defend the attack in most situations. So you see that out of River. They throw down their own Boar. So the question is, Squirrel, Skunk, Wolf versus Squirrel, Boar, which one's better? You know, for a Wolf, I don't think Meek has the best supporting units. I mean, generally what you want to see with a Wolf is like Cam Falcon, maybe even Raccoon. Of course, Wolf and Fox is totally cracked, but look at this. Meek is just going to turtle up super hard. And if I'm River, I think this is wrong from River. I don't think you attack. I think you just say, fine, dude. Like, build your barbed wire. Have your little turtle fest. I'm gonna go up to 3 bases. I think that's the right move here. So we'll see. The Wolf is out, and now Meek feels confident enough to throw down the Fox Warren as well. This is where things are gonna get very fun. And I think Meek's army value or army comp is gonna be better. The Fox is very, very good against Falcon. It can be good against Snake. It kind of depends. It does outrange the Snake, but you're kind of playing with hot water. Triple tier 3 on the way from Meek, and just showing a lot of creativity, which is great. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about metagames. Like, metagames are defined by the people who are playing. So because something is not popular or meta does not necessarily mean it is bad. So, you know, Meek building 30 barbed wire and a wolf and a fox is not exactly what I would call meta. But I don't think it's bad either. I think Meek is playing this very well. So what I want to see from River is just more and more economy. Like, that's how he wins this game. He's just got to get a million falcons. You know, enough snakes. I think complete third base. I don't think River has been scouting in a while, which is an easy mistake to make. But you want to be constantly scouting your opponent in Tooth and Tail. You know, scouting is free. It just takes time and effort. And where in a lot of other games, like StarCraft, like scouting actually takes resources. It doesn't really take resources in this game unless you call like mental energy or commander positioning a resource, which I do think that is valid to a degree. Yeah, I don't think you even need to attack. I think River just needs to make sure Meek doesn't get another base. That's how he's gonna win this game. Yeah, this attack, I don't know. He's gonna go for it. I think Meek is a good enough player. I mean, he's got a fox. He's gonna be able to kite with all his juiced up units, and this is just gonna be a dead boar. Let's see how much damage it gets though. So he is gonna kill the main base, but it doesn't matter at this point because it's farmed out. And then Meek should be able to clean up this army. So some damage did happen, but a total army clear here from Meek. And yeah, I mean, I think the better move from River would have been to just hang out and just out-eat. Just make sure your opponent doesn't get another base. So Meek will find an angle here without any turrets and just get some free bacon. And Meek is a very skilled player, so when you have somebody like Meek who's got a fox, who's got the wolf, you know, this is kind of a micro-intensive situation, and really in most cases, like, this fox should just never die. Like, River doesn't have the right units to fight it. It would kind of be more lizards or cams are a little bit better against the fox. I mean, the fox just eats falcons for breakfast. I think River just kind of got... Like, he probably never played a game like this before, right? And just wasn't sure what to do. Which is another great advantage of being a creative player and having creative decks, is you're going to force people out of their comfort zone, you know? Like, you're going to be comfortable building 20 barbed wire and 3 tier 3, but your opponent might have never played a game like that before, right? And just have no understanding of how to navigate that successfully. And look at this, the super friends here. A few tier 3, just going to slowly clean this up. So yeah, I think River played most of the game correctly. I think they just messed up when they attacked. That was kind of exactly what Meek was hoping for. So GG, Meek will take game number 1 here. And let's hop into round number 2. All right, on the right-hand side, we've got River, and on the left, Meek, going full heavy on the fox here. Lizard, mole, fox, and then some defensive structures. This could be a very fun way to play, but it can also be very map-dependent. This is a wonderful spawn for Meek to try something like this, though, because they can fairly easily defend their 2 bases with some turrets and balloons if they really needed to. But what's the best part is they could take this 3rd base here, you know, plant some defenses like right here, for example, and just really put a ton of pressure onto River. But again, these kinds of decks are risky, and it makes sense. This is a great time in a tournament series to do something risky, because they're up 1-0, right? So worst case scenario, Meek gets a map that's just terrible to try this kind of thing. Okay, you lose the game, you go to game 3, right? But I don't think that'll be the case here. Curious with the moles on the deck comp. I wonder what the thought process is on that. Probably just to leverage an advantage, maybe. I think moles kind of excel on that, but I think when you're taking so many risky deck moves, you might want something a little bit more consistent or something that you can really scale up with, like chameleons. But I think Meek is better than I am right now, so I'm not going to question his deck composition strategies. And this is exactly why he wants the moles, just to be able to put on some pressure. So Meek must have saw the tier 2, yeah. The tier 2, and then also River was thinking about expanding. So Meek has a whole lot more army right here, right now, on the table, and is going to try to leverage that to come in here and destroy this tier 2 Warren. He will get it. Will he get the Falcon? Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, now he's got to commit to getting it. He's got like 1 HP left. All right, so that defense was not bad from River. Keeps a Falcon alive, which is very important. And yeah, River has his own lizards here to help out, so I think I would have liked to see River pack some anti-fox repellent spray in his deck. He did not choose to take any unit like a chameleon or a mine that is very strong against fox. But then again, you know, of course, you do something like that, and then your opponent doesn't take fox the next game. Meek here gonna move in and is gonna get some bacon. River is not in position for this sort of attack, so gonna get 1 pig and the 2nd pig. Very nice. Loses all his units though. But River is just not in a position to counterattack. And behind all of this aggression, here comes that fast tier 3 from Meek. This time in the form of the fox. And can River stop it? Will River see it? River does see it. So he knows the tier 3 is on the way. But with the turrets, again, I mean, it's just too... like, you can't break that, really. River just needs to go home and get into his own Badger. And I think Badger Lizard is a great comp to try to fight Fox Lizard with. You know, once that Badger gets revved up, it'll delete the Fox in like 2 seconds. But if the Fox can play keep away and take some pop shots in, they can beat the Badger. So a little bit of a fair matchup. Gonna commit to getting that Warren and doesn't get it, so a nice little win there for River. And so we're gonna see if he can leverage that into an advantage. All right, Badger is down, but is it too late is the question. The Fox is moving in. Oh, and the Falcons could have got some more damage on it, but I bet Meek would have pulled back. Gonna try to target this down. Yeah, the Fox eats Falcons for breakfast. Really cool to see Meek making the Fox work in today's meta. And I think this might be a quick game number 2, as the Fox is gonna come in here and make it happen. So technically River did see the Fox, but I don't know if he actually like saw the Fox, you know what I mean? Like mentally. But yeah, when River attacked, he did see the Warren. Alright, and that's gonna be it. A quick victory here for Meek in match number 2. Oh wait, not quite yet. Okay. River's got 1 mil left, but he'll be dead here shortly, so GG, Meek, showing us how to make Fox and defense continue to work here in 2025.